This is continuation of chapter 4 CSS 3 in which I would like to cover these four elements: backgrounds, element dimensions, border style, and drop down menus. And we're gonna start with backgrounds and how you can create a background image and background color, and how you include a background image or a background color using CSS style. I would like first to show you this screen, which is just a text, is a paragraph, as you could see here in this code. This is just one single paragraph in the body section. There is no style on it, and just look like that. So what I would like to do, I would like to include a style and embedded style, such that I can have an image as a background, and also color, background color. So I would like to see the relationship between background image and background color for the whole page. So for this one, I've created a small code, and then I would like to edit this file using Notepad++. So I would like to copy or paste my code here and then try to explain it. So now let me save and see how my file look like. Okay, it looks like this. Why you see the background is light gray, and there is a background image here in this corner on the bottom right corner, and also the text has been changed to dark blue. How this happened? Using my style. Here is the body. In the body, for the body element, I used background image. In the background image, you can use background image or just background. There is no need for image. You can use it like that, and use URL between two parentheses the image file. In this folder, I have a file called rc.gif, which is basically this picture here. This is the rc.gif. It could be with any extension, JPG, PNP. So this one is actually the background image that you see there on that page. Colon URL and then the file name. The file name could be plain here between two parentheses, or could be between quotations as well. Double quotation or single quotation, they all work. This one will allow you to put the background image in your page. There are about 9 different places. You can put it in top right, top center, top left, or center left, center, or center right, or bottom left, bottom center, or bottom right. So here it's bottom right. That's why you see here on this, in this location. So if you change it to, for example, bottom left, then you will see the image moved to the left part of this place here. You can put it any one of these 9 different places. So if you put, for example, top left, then you will see it here on top left, which is going to be placed, and you will see that it is on the background, where this writing is on top of the image. So let me keep it as bottom right as it was earlier. For this property, which is background repeat, the default is if you don't have this one at all, this background image will repeat. So the default is a repetition of the background image. It's going to repeat for the whole page many times until the whole page is covered with this image. But if you would like to have it just once, use background repeat, no dash repeat. So that's why you see here at the bottom right, and is not repeated. So if it is a plain image, for example white, or yellow, or light green, or light blue or something, and you would like to repeat, you will see the background as just one single background, but it is one small image repeated many times. The background color is the color of the background. So here you see light gray. So for example, if you put yellow to see to see it very clear, you see that the background has been changed to yellow. So the background image and background color are something different. That is an image, and this is the color. So make it light gray as it was before. So it is just like that. Here in the paragraph, this paragraph, I decided to make some style, like the font 18, make it smaller, 16. The color of the background is dark blue. You see the color is dark blue, and the text intent is 1.em. That is the text indent where it's indenting with each other. So here, for example, start from this part, they start 1 em. Here, this one, starting the paragraph was with this area. Font family is Arial, of course. I have created a small class here. I called it dark. Why I would like to make the font bold for this part. Royal Commission for Jubail and Yamba. Only this I span it and created this class. I refer to the class with dot class font weight bold. If you would like to change something more, like color, for example red, you can actually change the color for this one and make it red. And you see the text is being changed to 16 points instead of 18 points as earlier. So if you scroll to zoom out, still the background image, it is in the same location, and the text is being moving, but moving up. But as you zoom, you will find that image is fixed, attached to the location where you put it. Okay, so that is a difference between background image and background color. I would like to move on to another item, which is the element dimension. So let me show you this one. These 3 paragraphs, as you could see here, they are 3 paragraphs. Okay, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and paragraph 3. These paragraphs, they just one single line. This is one single line, and these are like 4 lines of paragraph. So if you like to make the paragraph widths different, you can create a style on each one of them and change the widths of each paragraph. So for example, you would like to change the width of the first paragraph to make it 20%. So you can actually do this. Let me edit the file. and I would like to make this paragraph goes over 20% width. So this paragraph will show like this, 20%. You want the second one to be over 80%. So you can actually create a style and include width 80%. This here, it's 80%. Then this one will go over. All right, let me remove this one. Style 80%. This is 80%. You see that is 80% of the screen. This is 80% of the screen. And the last one, although it is a very big paragraph, but I would like to keep it as 20% as well. So let me make it style equal width 20%. I would like to change the background for this one to make it light yellow, and also to make a height for this background as fixed to 200 pixels. Okay, this one is for scroll. Let me just cut it for now, save my file, refresh my file, and show you how the width shows. The width, and if you can notice that that is background light yellow, I can change it to make it different, like light green, for example, so that you can see it here like that. But this is, I made only, this is 200 pixels. That's why you see it is like that, 200 pixels. If you can make it 400 pixels, then you will see that it is like that, covering the whole thing. All right. Okay. What is the overflow? Overflow is for a scroll. The default, there is no scroll bar on it. But if you add an attribute, the property overflow, you can actually create a scroll bar by using scroll like this. So here you can actually have the scroll bar. But I want this one to make it 200 pixels so that you can see the scroll bar working. If I made the height 200 pixels, now you will see that I fixed it 200 so that you can see a scroll bar for this. So you can have dimension for these paragraphs. Also, you can actually change some style. Let me just copy this style and see how the paragraphs are affected by this style. In this one, I said I need background color for the paragraphs to be light blue. But of course, this one is going to be different now because I have created inline style for it. It's going to be light green. But both of them is going to be light blue. The margin bottom is 0.5 em. That means the margin between each paragraph and another. Also, I changed for all paragraphs the font style to make it Arial. What is LG? LG, because here I put line green, but there is no need for it now because I already changed it there to be light green. So instead of making it as inline style, I just made it as instead of making it as embedded style, I make it line style for the color of that paragraph. So here, background color light blue, margin bottom 0.5 em. Difference between paragraphs, so that when you see my file, you see this paragraphs has a light blue color. Okay, so also you can have this centered by using text align center. So if you can add style here for text align, you can add also text dash align center here. I can actually create it as I can use a class. I can use this class I already made. So let me use this class here, dot lg text dash align center. So that this part affected by this class is going to be centered here, center on the 80% of the screen. So you can actually create individual classes for these paragraphs and change them. For example, you can create a class here on this one, call it anything, and then you can refer to this anything name by using a dot, and then here you do your style. For example, you would like to change the font dash family for this one to make it cursive. So you are actually changing only the first paragraph text or font family to make it cursive by using this class here, dot anything, and then change that style. Element dimension simply means you can use percentage on the width to make different dimensions on your website, so that you can create areas specified for a specific purpose. Especially if you are working in a newspaper company and you are asked to create a website that sort news by their length of text. All right, let me move ahead to something different now, in which I would like to talk about the border style. For border style, this is an example. Now you don't see any style on this text. This text is written just like that, as you could see, but it's written inside divisions. So this is the code for it. This is the code written for this. Class or divisions. For each one, I have a class with a name. And for example, solid border, this solid border, I create a class called solid. Double border, I create a class called double, and so forth. So I have a lot of different border styles. Their name is solid, double, groove, ridge, dotted, inset, thick dashed, thin red, and medium red. You can notice that I have created classes here, sometimes three names or two names. These are two names classes. These are three names. These are three names. That means I can go by anyone. I can refer to this area or to this text by using dot medium or dot blue or dot offset. And you can change, for example, for this one, you would like to change the style of the this border. And for this one, you would like to change the color. And for outset, you would like to change the outset or inset, for example, of this text. So I would like to add these style that are going to be changed by using the class .solid, .double, .groove, .ridge, .dotted, .inset, .thick, .thin, .medium, and so on. and dot blue, for example. So let me open it in an editor and change it slightly by adding this style here. I have a style. This style I would like to copy and paste it in this location here in the head section, and then explain this. The first part, for divs, for all these divs, I need text align to be center. That means I need them to be in the center, these words. Okay, in the center of my borders. The width is 50% of the screen. Position is relative to the border. The position of the text relative to the border. Left 25%. That means starting from 25% from the left. Border width is 6px, the width of the border for all divs, because I have the border itself and the border for the divs. Now look at these, these classes, which are referred to by dot class name. This one, it should be dot. I don't have this one, so I'm going to remove it. So here is how you can see. Let me make it this one red, because it is talking about medium red outside borders. Let me show you these borders, but I'm going to cut all of them. Just leave one and show you how this should look like. Okay, all right, here it will be centered, but currently there is no any borders applied. Let me refresh and see. Here, solid border, solid border, use border style solid. This one here, this one, dot solid. So the word solid for the border style. For the border that is double, if you would like to create a double border on your text, then create double, double, double. For the groove, create groove. What is groove? Groove is like a frame in which the top part and the left part are in the outer part, in the outer side, but the bottom and the right is inner the frame, inside the frame. So this one, the upper one and the left one is outside the frame. The dark the dark gray border on top and on the left, we'll see it on outside of the frame, and the gray color border, you will see it in the bottom right, but you see it inside the frame. And the groove is opposite to the ridge. In the ridge, you will see the dark or the gray border that is on top, and on the right you will see it inside the box, while the bottom and on the right you will see it outside the box. So it is just the opposite. I would like to see how you can create a frame or a border like that, like we use in Microsoft Word, for example. For the dotted, we use dotted, D-O-T-T-E-D. Dotted is like dots, like this. And for dashed, you will see use dashed. As you can see here, we use dash, the word dashed. Okay. Inset, it is very similar to the groove, except that the frame is or the border has is a thicker color, more darker color on top and on the left. This is a thick dashed border because I put dot thick, and here I border width dot thick. But if you use thin, you can change this one to thin, and it will change it to thin. You can use here thin for this one, and then you see that the border is actually thin, as you could see that. So here, let me undo, and then I'm gonna refresh and see. Now this border is not thin, it's thick dash border. So it depends on what do you use, to use thin or thick. All right, it's the difference between them. Medium is like this, and then for the red, you can change the color here for the using border color. The border color, we change that that border to red color, like this. Okay, this is actually this is border color for this for this one here, because I use dot red, and red is part of my classes here on this last one. And this one blue, I can use here dot red for this one, red, and then for dot blue I can use another class, and then change the color for this one to blue, so that for each color I have created a border color that is the same name as you could see. So here is how it should look like. This is medium red dashed color, and this one blue. Where is my blue here for this one? Thin. If you would like to make it thick, also use here border dot thin, you can use thin, but change it to thick, like this. You'll see here thick, although it says thin, but I'm just changing it to show you that the difference between thin and thick. So because here I'm using this class thick on this one, so I'm just changing here to make it thick to show you that it actually make the change. So you can change the color, and you can change the offset and the inset, and also the style for this So this is compared to the previous words. Each one has been put in a frame by itself, and frames are different, same like you use in Microsoft Word. As I explained before, in Microsoft Word you can actually change the border to different ways. That is available in the border here, like that. For example, there is different selections, and even you can create these by using some frames like this. So it is just like that. Okay, now I would like to move on to the last element here, which is the drop down menu. And in the drop down menu, I would like to create a menu, like menu of links. So let me show you first my menu without any change. This is how it looks like. Menu in which you see links like this, an order list in each one of them. They are all links, but they are not pointing to specific links. It's just pointing to their own location, except for news, in which I put a link on it. But this is how it looks like. I use in the body, I use nav element. Nav element is a container for link items. But here inside the nav element, I use an order list. An order list is going to be like bullets, as you see here, bullets. And Each one it has a link. Use pound here. Pound means you are linking to the same location, same place. But here this one is linking to this website for the news only. I'm just making it here to test it. But there is no style on it. So what I want to do, I would like to create a drop down menu in which you can click in the menu. You will see nothing here except menu. When you hover over the menu, you will see the drop down menu of these items, and each one can change. For example, I can change the color, the background color, and also the text decoration. By text decoration, I mean I can remove the underline from it. So for this one, I have created, this style, and I would like to explain it on this code. So for this one, I have created this big style, but I divided it into many items. First, for the body, I made the family cursive, the font family cursive, and also bold for nav. Yani anything inside nav, the font weight is going to be bold, and the color is going to be white, and the border is going to be 2 pixels solid red. The border of this, nav or this container. Text will be aligned to the center, inside the center. Yani these words, news, home, blog, articles, contact, will be aligned to the center. And the width of that container of this one, and of this one, and of this one, is going to be 10 EM. Background color is going to be royal blue, just like blue or light blue, or it's called royal blue. Is a color name. The background for what? For anything inside the nav. When you see nav space UL, you are talking about the unordered list inside the nav. The unordered list, these are unordered lists inside the nav. So what is inside it? For the first time, don't display any items, and don't make any style. Style none. List style is none. There is no list style. Yani is not bullets, is nothing. There is no display on the block. The margin is 0. Padding is 0. So this is for the first time you upload. But when you actually hover in the nav, when you see nav hover space UL, that means for every UL inside the navigation item, when you hover over it, then display it as a block. Make it as a block, and also make a border on top 2 pixels from top, solid, also royal blue. And the background for this list will be white. That means when you see nav UL LI, you are talking about list inside UL inside nav. That means this list inside UL inside nav. Here, this nav. Anything like that, anything inside the list, its border top will be 2 pixels. Yani the text from the border, the text written. What is the text? This is the text. Home, news, article, blog, and contact will be the border from the top of this frame or of this block will be 2 pixels. And it's going to be solid royal blue. Background color, of course, of these bullets of these list items will be white, and the width is going to be 10 EM also, and the color is going to be black. And also here, when you hover over the list items, which is inside the nav, the unordered list, which is inside the nav, then when you hover over these links, you are changing the background color to this one, to powder blue, which is lighter blue. And for every anchor element, which is a link element, remove the underline. That means text decoration none. This will be reflected by using, let me refresh. It will be like this. All right. let me put it here. Why do you see the menu, the word menu, white? Because here it said anything in the nav. What do I have? I have menu. What is the color? Color white. Here it is. Color is white. How big the order? The border. The border is 2 pixels. See, the border is 2 pixels. What is the color of the border? Solid red. That's what you see. Solid red. Why the word menu is in the center? Because you said text align center. Why the family cursive? Because here you said for the body, anything for the inside the body, including this nav or li or anything, the font is going to be cursive. That's why the font is cursive. Okay, so this part here is applied, and also this part is applied. Where you see display none, list, there is no list style, there is no margin, there is no padding, nothing. But when you hover over the navigation, the unordered list inside this navigation, which you hover over it, is going to be displaying it as blocks, and then you will see that color also. The background color is white here. Background color is white. Look. Background color is white. What is the okay, and then what else? But this guy is this frame, which is border for all nav, is going to be red, so it's going to be extended to red. But when I hover over each one, you see this background. Let me just move this a little bit. Background for every one of these lists is becoming powder blue. Powder blue. And also you will notice that because of I put here a text decoration none, that means for every link there is no any underline. So you see it here, you can just click on it to open any link, but there is no underline on it. So but by having this hand on them, you will see that this is actually a link. You will know this is a link. So okay, I will upload this also to your week 2 examples so that you can download and practice on them.